secretary of UNISON, representative of International of Public Services, and what we want to hear is about good experience of redistribution. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite to speak today. So I'm here representing Public Services International, which is the organisation that represents trade unions, public sector unions globally, and I'm the General Secretary of UNISON, which is the largest union in the United Kingdom. We have 1.3 million members, almost 1 million of whom are women, and included in that is about 150,000 care workers in the UK, but obviously hundreds of thousands more women in my union who provide care for their family or actually, you know, provide unpaid care and have to access care themselves. I know we're short of time, so I'm just going to focus on a couple of the key things from PSI. So I think we've all recognised that care is one of the ways that globally, if we could get care right, it's one of the ways globally where we could actually impact on gender-based poverty, where we could actually free up more women to take part in other areas of the workforce, where people who rely on care can actually take part in the workforce. Instead of seeing care as a drain on economies, we should see it as a driver of the economy, as well as a fundamental human right. But one of the key things that we are concerned about in PSI is that as care becomes something that is spoken about, and it's great to see it being spoken about more and more, what we see, and certainly we see it in the United Kingdom, we see it across many other parts of the world, is that some of the big providers see it as a way of making lots of money. So whilst we say states need to intervene and see care as their responsibility, in many cases what that means is they will say it's their responsibility to put some funding into it, but they then commission big organisations to come who do this because they see lots of money in it. And every penny that's taken out in profit is a penny that's not put into improving the care and improving the working conditions of the mainly women workforce there. And in my country, in the UK, what we've seen is hedge funds, organisations based in tax havens, offshore tax havens, seeing care, targeting care as a way of making lots of money. And one of the ways, the key way they make money, two ways. They set it up as a kind of unregulated debt repayment system where the care provider has to pay huge interest on loans that they're given. But the other key way they make lots of money is by targeting and cutting the paying conditions and exploiting the workforce in an appalling way. What we're doing as trade unions is trying to organise the workforce there, enable to actually try and get good agreements in place. And it was so interesting to hear from the speakers in the first session about some government initiatives in this. So that's what we're pushing for, is to say governments have to step in here and take responsibility. Care needs to be better regulated. Governments have to see this as something that it's their responsibility to get involved in. And that also means their responsibility to look after the workforce who provide this. We're trying to get, in my own country, our government at the moment is a Conservative government, not interested particularly in workers' rights. But we are pushing as a union movement very hard in the UK and indeed in other countries to get sectoral bargaining in care, to say that actually what we need is something that sets some standards in terms of pay and working practices, training for care workers, standards that would also give confidence to the care users. We are seeing some progress in some areas. So in Public Services International, we have a manifesto where we've set out what we think needs to happen for care to be delivered properly. I'll just end. I know you're incredibly tight for time. I just think it's really great that care is now kind of coming into its own, and we're seeing this this becoming something that's discussed in so many areas, because obviously if we can get this right, if we can actually make sure it doesn't end up just as a growth in exploitation, then we can do so much to help eradicate gender-based poverty and improve the lives of women and girls across the world. Thank you.